process. And sir, the entire center started with, because when I travel from Portland to Washington, I see that huge barren land, there are mountains and there is nothing is grown there. And like in California, the Hoover Dam, for example, the kind of revolution it created in California, and therefore, Pawar sir, you may know a scientist named Kadekar, who was the Vice Chancellor in Konkan Krishi Vidyapith. So first time when I returned from my PhD degree back here, I happened to meet him. He said, "Sir, Kokonata California karaycha hai now." So I feel that having seen the topography and the land in Washington and the kind of work the Process Research Center of Washington State University, Pullman, has, I saw it in the entire day very closely. That time itself, the idea got sown in my mind that how can we take these outcomes for a state like Maharashtra. And therefore, sir, day before yesterday on 17th at IIT Bombay, we had a one-day workshop with the different discipline scientists and faculty members at IIT Bombay, and I brought them juxtaposing how does Washington state compare with Maharashtra. And I'm not going to repeat that here, but just one factor that, Maharashtra is 1.7 times in terms of its area, but 17 times in terms of its population. Okay, and for example, sir, I was surprised to know that water rights, water issues is also a problem which farmers in Washington state face. We also here have whatever that 19% of our land area under cultivation is irrigated. So how can we transpose whatever our learning and create a kind of win-win situation? At IIT Bombay, the scientists and the visiting team of faculty members at Washington State University also saw that what is possible in an institution in India like IIT Bombay. So, sir, at that point in day before yesterday, I told them, here you have two giant institutions with track record, heritage. You have Washington State University with 25,000 students, IIT Bombay with about 20,000 students, and here is a budding institution at Baramati, which also has something like Nalanda, you told me about 14,000, 15,000 students. So how can we sort of have these two big brothers and nurture a budding institution, create such a thing? So I'm not going to read all this, but what you saw just 2 days before when we were having a workshop on AI for crop stress management in IIT Bombay, just on the same day the cabinet announced that there should be 500 crores, for example, for AI integration in agriculture in Maharashtra. So how timely it is, and perhaps how can we take a mileage of such a decision? And as most of you know, that Maharashtra had been on the forefront of within country. Maharashtra has always been in the deep industry, deep agriculture. So how can we sort of create these use case studies in AI? Go to the next slide, please. So how we can create these use case studies? And sir, we are just coming from a field where we saw a new use case study which is generating for last 3 months. You have a plot where in sugarcane we are using AI as a control, as a treatment. You have a control plot just next to it where everything remains same. So it's like what you call as a scientific experiment, control and treatment. You have no AI. What we saw, we believe, but what at the same time, as I said, the professor in me keeps asking the questions. So to your KVK scientist, I challenge him, sir, this case study, this experience must be vetted by peers. If you publish in a good referee journal, be it in AI, be it in agriculture, but publish it, because so much of efforts are going into create such case studies. So this must, and I think the scientists took my suggestion to them, and I'm not able to read from here, but as I said, this is a good opportunity. You have a government. Since I'm changing my hat, sir, now, I was talking as an IIT professor, now I'm with Maharashtra government for the last 3.5 years. I'm working with Dr. Kapotkar as the Secretary of Science and Technology Commission, and we do fund the academic institutions, we do fund the research institutions, and some of the people from your Abiotic Research Center, ICAR, have sort of applied for research. I would say to Professor Lande, we would appeal to him that your faculty members should also apply, because we have again peer reviewed of those research projects and research objectives. So this is something which you see in, I mean, these days, you know, like your generation, and now indicating to the students here, you are so lucky. At my time, when I had to do some research, I had to go to the cards library and note down something, and then now you have at your fingertips. You are sitting in the hostel, you can just go to ChatGPT and throw a question, and you will get all these kinds of data that, you know, why, for example, 45 to 50% of the people still have to contribute only GDP of 17 to 18%. Sir, you might have referred to that Dr. Swaminathan's report in 2010, when he mentioned that to create 1,000 rupees, farmer has to put 6 times more effort. And that comes from this kind of a data as what kind of GDP is generated by what percentage of the population. So is there a way? So I think AI, sensor-based agriculture, all this gives us an opportunity to bring these kinds of numbers. And when we say that, you know, you have done 20% saving of water, 25% increase in yield. So this needs to be, I was talking with the scientists, you need to really create mechanistic understanding. You just can't say, I did this and I found this. No, science doesn't accept that. Science needs, a good science, for example, would need a mechanistic understanding. I remember when I started my MTech, sir, in 1979, 1980, that time in India, for example, you were at the ministry at the helm, Minister of Agriculture. So people were asking farm mechanization, yeah, big deal, but how will it increase my yield per acre? Just by bringing tractor, is it going to enhance my yield? So that were the questions were asked in those era, 1979-80s. The same questions the farmers, I've been telling my Washington State University colleagues here, that farmer is one of the most difficult customers here. He's going to ask you 10 different questions. It's okay, you have sensors, you have put this, you want temperature, but sensing all this, but how does it benefit me? How do I have only 4 acres of land, 2 acres of land. How do we do this? And another thing, I mean, as I said, a professor also remains a student all through his life. Yesterday, sir, when we visited your Abiotic stress center, we came to know that plants are like humans. When you have some disease or ailment, you get some fever. So one of the scientists there, I forgot his name, but he said that wheat blight, when it comes 2 days before or 1 day before, its temperature enhances by 2 degrees Celsius. So how can we get those indicators and find out if there is a large-scale disease going to spread? Next slide, please. So I think all these are definitions of AI. These are what do you do, for example, in AI, how different it is from machine learning. See, machine learning has been there for the last 15, 20, 30 years. How does AI differ from machine learning? So you create, for example, some algorithms, you train those algorithms. How do you train algorithms? You collect data. Lot of data you collect, you train the algorithms, and then it helps you in predictions and simulating and trying to use that in decision making. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, so this is something, again, another application that bleeds and disease dissection. सर मी स्वतः कधी डोळ्यांनी लष्करी नाव म्हणजे काय असतं ते बघितलं नाही, पण न्यूजपेपर मध्ये वाचले, मॅगझिन्स मध्ये वाचले. But what I understood was when it comes, it spreads like viral, like corona, for example. So if you have a Lashkari Mawa somewhere, in small village of Sangli, and what is the time it may take to come to Baramati farmer, and if you can do that kind of algorithm and predictions using the data, the earlier heuristics, that becomes useful, and you can come to smart farming and AI-driven farming. Next slide, please. So soil health, I think another, I'm just forgetting the name of the scientist, Sardarji, who was at the helm, Director General of ICAR. But he had told that the Indian agriculture is facing two fatigues. One is fatigue due to soil health, and second is water, availability of water. These are two strong indicators. I think sometime in 2010, Abrol or somebody was his name. So the soil health is something. I think there is a awareness there. Farmers also know about it. But how can we use these tools, for example, like one of the farmers was asking us, because at IIT Bombay, government of Maharashtra, from our commission, we have funded a project on drones to IIT Bombay. So he was asking, why do you have to go that much up to do what is happening on the ground? So there are what you call, today as scientists we are able to tell that you take multispectral camera, you take RGB camera, take the photograph, tell them where it is, what it is. So that is again another thing. Next slide, please. Yeah, so there are, I think, this in day for yesterday's workshop, one of my colleagues at IIT Bombay only, he said he listed 35 agro-advisory companies. Young faculty member at IIT Bombay, what he said on the public platform, he said he is frustrated with these 35 agro-advisories. Farmer doesn't want to hear that where is this, like you teach me how to do irrigation or something. So irrigation is something perhaps I think the little travel that I have made in Maharashtra, I think farmers know how to manage their water. Next slide please. AI-driven automated agriculture machinery. Also when you have all these possibilities which have been proven on the KVKs, on the research farms, be it at Prosser in the Washington State University or in, let's say, KVK of any given state. But how do we make it application oriented for a small farmer of 4 to 5 acres? Can you bring entrepreneurship in this? These are the questions that we would like to handle in such a workshop. Next slide, please. Predictive analytics in agriculture, I just said about, and we saw that, and sir, I think you do agree that I'm also representing government now here, but equally we would like industry and the NGOs, everybody. So popularly it used to be said that something it becomes a people's movement. Green revolution came. It's not just because of Dr. Swaminathan or the minister who was, I think Subramanian ji was there, but it was because the farmers responded, our farmers in Punjab, Haryana, they responded to the heavy input agriculture that time. So like that, if you want AI to make any tangible impact on whatever, conserving resources, productivity enhancements, reducing the drudgery, for example, I think it has to become sooner a people's movement. People have to accept that, and there has to be both government as well as industry push. That's why I put agri growth in between as a oval, and then you have industry and government on both sides. Next slide. So there are, I think our friends in IIT Bombay from Technology Innovation Hub have sort of made some use case studies here with ICR centers in grape and ICR centers in onion and barley. They have done on the research farms that how we can get that data stack and how we can help make certain decisions. I think in the afternoon they will make a presentation on that. So next slide please. Yeah, so there are lots of government initiatives also. So you have an AI chatbot, AI-based systems, integrated programs. And at the beginning of my talk, I told you about the 500 crore initiative. For a kind of task that we have, so 500 crores could become a peanut. Although the cabinet announced on 17th that you want to do for agriculture that much. But start small. This is what I told Professor Lande also. Don't please recruit 300 students next year for AI BTech. I mean, 4 years down the line, they'll come on the road. Where are my jobs? What do I do? So I think it's always better to go step by step. And next slide, please. So private sector initiatives are there. That's what I mentioned. We know of a number of my professor colleagues in IIT Bombay. We have 35 farmer advisory companies, including Tata's and all that. Next slide, please. So here is my concluding slide. Professor Nalode, I hope I'm okay with the time.
Yes.
Last 1 minute. I'll just conclude. What I want to say here, based on the learnings that I have never first time worked on any data collection, data analytics, or the giving analytical solutions. But based on my study and reviews, I would say that transforming farming practices that brings precision, efficiency. Because see, I think when it was said, sir, sustainable agriculture. So in the literature and even in scientific literature, the question was asked: how do you make it evergreen? Green revolution, evergreen revolution, ever sustainable. How do you make it sustainable thing sustainable? Then yield enhancement, data driven, because that is only the numbers are going to convince our farmers here. You may bring your gadgets, you may bring your devices, you may bring your apps and all that, but finally how much yield you have got and what is the takeaway for him at the end of the day. Data driven decision, I mean, this is something which we tell our students at IIT Bombay, that any evidence must be data driven, must be based on data. Growth with sustainability, we just said that. And the last punchline what I have put here is we can afford to miss bus. We cannot afford to miss the bus in Viksit Bharat or Viksit Maharashtra mission unless we sort of at least validate, check, and then recommend to our end users or stakeholders, that is farmers, on AI in agriculture. I stop here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Mira from Washington State University for his presentation on smartphones, concepts to reality in the real estate. Please.
Namaste. Aditya Sahib and Itai, and with our dignitaries here, also a lot of guys sitting here. We Marathi are but I will use English to talk a little bit, but I'm really fortunate कि बहुत ज़्यादा से उपस्थित वाला से बोलने की संधि मिलती. I never thought कि I would sit with you, but yeah, here I am, and yeah. So for next 10 minutes, I will just talk about Washington State agriculture and आम्ही जे स्मार्टफोन कन्सेप्ट जे आहे ते कसे रियालिटीमध्ये म्हणजे आम्ही WSU researchers and also farmers, how they are translating this to reality actually to some extent. अच्छा, next slide please. So Dr. Sharad सांगितलं, but then this is Washington State, and because of Microsoft you know what Washington State is. Pacific Ocean आहे left side, and then there's Microsoft in Seattle, and then you can see Central Washington. We do a lot of high-value crops in Washington. I mean, it's like we have 300 crops that we grow there. I mean, most of these crops that we grow, 2/3 of that is because of the snowmelt that happens, and we get water in the rivers. We have water dams, so there's like electricity generated through hydropower, and all that water is used for irrigation actually, right? You can see the in most commodities that we grow in Washington, we grow a lot of apples, a lot of horticultural crops there. Potato ahead, tuber, onion ahead, grape, wine grape ahead, wheat ahead, and next slide please. And all this, like most of our production, we are very competitive, and we do a lot of export actually. French fries are still, apple are still, wheat are still, even dairy, right? So, because all this is commercial farming, and I mean, we yesterday saw the, I mean, the modern sample actually, असं म्हणतात की म्हणजे सामान्य निवडणुकीचे लोकांचे पल्स करतात, तर आणि मुली साधारण वातावरणाचे पल्स करत असतील, आणि त्यांनी बऱ्याच वर्षांकडे वातावरण स्टेज सेक्रेटरी म्हणजे उदाहरण आहे. And then so when we are talking about smart farms, why smart farms? Because in Washington also we have the same issues, right? For the apples and all the high value crops we grow, we will get a lot of heat stress and sunburn and then related disorders. Farmers have to sometimes throw about 40% of the crop that we grow, right? Moving the timeline before, when the trees are coming out of dormancy and then birds are becoming flowered, that's what becomes food. We also have a lot of frost or cold damage, and that's why we need to have smart technologies to sense the scenarios that are coming and then try to mitigate those, right? Water also, like this time last year, we are in drought scenario, we have less water, and we are competing not only for irrigation, but also use the same water to cool the canopies and fruits to mitigate the heat stress. So we have issues of that nature that need smart interventions. Next slide, please. The labor issues, I think we have here too, but we have the minimum wage in Washington. You can see for every labor that is working in the field for 1 hour, we have to pay about 1,500 rupees per hour, right? So last 2 years, Apple growers have not made money because of minimum wage scenario, and importantly, we don't have that many laborers to work in our farms now. So that's why we need smart technologies. And third one is related to our export market. So most of our foods and everything that we grow, we export, right? And there is something called MRL, that like depending on how much chemicals we put in your production, there is the residue that remains on the fruits and vegetables, and that limits the export issue, right? So we have that issue as well in Washington State. Next slide, please. So, and that issue is because you can see that if you are seeing the mango trees or something like that, it's a conventional scenario, but because we want to grow more, we want to use light better, use labor better, we have transitioned to some of the new architectures of growing fruits and so forth. Next pointer, please. And then we are still using old technology to spray chemicals, right? That's why we have all these environmental issues. In terms of water, you can see the circles there on the left side. Those are potato farms, 130 acre. And then because of the water issue, and then there's a lot of evaporation happening when we use the central pivot. Now we have moved the sprinklers to the mid and low level on the right side there, but still we have a lot of water evaporation happening, and there is not much water available to do the production. So that's why we need smart interventions. Next slide. So I won't go into the details of what it is, but in a nutshell, the smart concept we are talking, and we are more here thanks to what ADP has done in the sugar cane, right? We are doing monitoring and we are doing management. So all we have to do, these two pillars, monitoring and management, we have to make them smart. And that's what smart farm is. And then I'm glad that ADP has started with sugar cane. I hope it propagates to other crops in coming years. I think with IIT and TIH, and we are also able to see how we can collaborate there. So again, it's just making those monitoring management scenarios smarter. Next slide, please. So, and today we are talking about AI, of course, right? And I want to say this, I'm not going to talk about AI going forward. Anand is going to cover some of this. But for making everything smart and infusing those monitoring and management scenarios happen, we need the data, right? And that data is where we start. Everything starts with the data. What we need for today, we need continuous spatial control data that is of good quality, right? And that is available at reliable cost to farmer, to researchers and so forth, right? Yesterday's the 500 crore initiative that state government has launched in Maharashtra. It's a good initiative. We are thinking of putting weather stations, and we also have weather station and network I'll talk about a little bit later. But I want to say one thing here. It's easy to buy a car, but if you don't maintain a car, it's not going to run, right? Same thing with weather stations that state is deploying. I think we have to look at this. Once we deploy the weather stations, who is going to take care of the weather stations and do preventive maintenance, so the data is of good quality. If that is not of good quality, all the models we train and farm advisors that will go out, they are not going to be useful. And the farmer will lose trust in AI actually in that scenario. So again, I said about this, and I think everybody is using this data. One more point, please. So in terms of availability of data, we start with satellites, right? We have 10,000 plus satellites up in the space. We are getting resolution of 0.5 million now. Every other day we are getting this data. I think this data has to be available to researchers and to farmers at much more affordable rate actually. And state and central government should do something about this, having this data set centralized and kind of distributed at, giving subsidy to get this data access actually to develop better AI models to some extent. Also, this is another important point. Again, I saw a lot of these sugarcane AI weather stations that are in the sugarcane field and so forth. What has to happen? I think R&D is doing it in USD, National Weather Service is doing the forecast, we are using satellite data. The weather forecasts that are happening are at a little bit larger scale. When we talk about the farmer field or block, those forecasts are not accurate. So we have to work on the farmers always were asking for this, and so we have, just like what we are doing here, we have what's called agricultural weather sensing network. We have about 366 weather stations deployed across the state, and we actually collect the data, we clean the data, and we plan all our mission support that are developed by Washington State University researchers and other entities within the state, so that farmers can benefit from this, right? So I think the state government again is doing this here. This is very important for doing all the timely agro-advisories to some extent. And so I'll be happy if there is a need, we can share how we do this and then help state here. Another point I want to say in terms of this data that we collect with our network, you can see Washington State on the top there. There are similar networks in the state run by universities. And we send this data to the National Weather Service, and then National Weather Service actually incentivize us, so they give us some money for providing that data, I guess, right? And they improve their forecast little bit, and then for consumer market and so forth. I think in India, the IMD or central government should do something like this, so that there is money available for maintaining these networks in the state here. So, again, next slide. So this is another thing we are doing in Washington State. Besides our network that we have, we are now accepting the weather stations from the farmers. So farmers have ability to install weather stations. You can see we have about 139 stations in Washington State that we actually accept the data, we clean the data again to look at the quality of the data. Once we clean the data every 5 minutes or 15 minutes, we are sending them alerts if there is something wrong with their data, something wrong with their sensors, right? So something of that nature has to happen in Maharashtra as well. If somebody deploys the station, so that way the data coming in to do AI and ML is of good quality. So next please. So next. So again, I want to talk about, there are some rich farmers and there are some poor farmers, right? So when farmers doesn't have ability to deploy the stations, our network like us, our network, we are again developing the AI/ML forecasting weather data for next 5 days, and then farmers are using those advisories to protect their crops. In this scenario, what we are doing is using our advisory to see if the frost is coming from cherries or apple, and then run these wind machines to mix the air, right? And so something like this we can also translate here for pomegranate farmers or grape farmers to some extent. But again, this is for heat stress. We have a lot of issues, like I have here also about heat stress. We are again doing the same thing. Weather driven food surface temperature, in this case we are estimating the apple food surface temperature for next 10 days and letting farmer know that heat stress is coming, and then farmer can plan like to get the water in the ponds, and then when the heat stress comes, then one can mitigate the heat stress there. Next slide. So then for the farmers who are fortunate to buy and deploy their technology, what we need to think about is connectivity. I think Dr. Shah mentioned about this a little bit. Connectivity is key if you are doing these smart farms, and that has to be explored here. I want to give you a use case actually, next one, where we are doing this, just like the sugarcane scenario here. We have Shekhar who is running the slideshow there. He is from IIT Kharagpur. and something similar to what TIH doing, we have developed this wireless sensor network to sense the temperature variation within the orchard blocks and then actuate the wind machine to mitigate the frost in the orchard blocks there, right? So we can scale this up, and we are doing this. Next slide, please. Now, just like we have sugarcane commodity board here, in Washington we have the Tree Fruit Commission, we have the Washington Wine, Washington Potato, and then Blueberry Commission. All these commissions are coming and saying, deploy this in our commercial farms. They are giving us the money and asking us to educate the farmers, growers there, because you can use this block level monitoring and management scenarios to some extent. So I think what I have seen with the sugarcane AI, I think that can be duplicated or replicated in other crops, something similar to what we are doing there. So next one. Next one, please. So another thing that I wanted to say is for AI, we need data, right? And as Dr. Shah mentioned, we have 34 farmer advisories. We also have something like this, but we are playing very small. So we are after, for example, you see the app there, and you probably don't see the numbers. You can see on this screen here. I can access the this app from here in India actually, right? And see the farm in Pullman or in Washington State, and I will see when the heat stress is coming in my apple orchard block, for example. July 25th is where, June 25th is where the heat stress is coming, and then farmer plants and goes in the orchard, and on that day, if the heat stress is there, he or she will actuate the fogging systems, right? So when they are taking those images there, next slide please, we are collecting that data, right? And what we are doing is, we call this crowdsourcing, right? As farmer gets benefit from the farm advisors, we are using the data that is collected by them to do AI models. And I think this kind of scenario has to happen in this countries as well here. So I think I should skip some of the next slides. It is about the smart farms that are again requested by some of the commodity boards in the BSU there. What it is just like here. Farmers in Washington State, for example, apple farmers, they are frustrated with a lot of startups going to them and asking them to deploy XYZ technology on their farms and so forth, right? So they came to WSU and say, can WSU be the middle ground where the farmer would provide a block and then the private companies, next slide please, will deploy, these are the 25 some companies are deploying their technology in those commercial blocks. And we are, as at the Washington State University, we are groundbreaking some of this and then doing the meaningful filtration of this so that growers can adopt these technologies in their orchard blocks actually. So this is at very high intensity rate that is going on. As I said, this is a use case where we on purpose brought these three companies together and then asking them to work together and show that they can do automated precision irrigation. You can see last year we saw about 52% selling the water because they work together and use climatic models and so forth for irrigation automation. Same to heat stress, we saw about 48% less water used there. So something of this nature has to happen here at ADT. Like this is such a good platform. We have actually ADTs and so forth. I thought ADTs are just doing science related translation. I saw some technology also there. But you can work with the startups and any of these private companies, ask them to deploy the technology here, you do the filter and then translate this to the farmers actually. So I just wanted to highlight that one. I think I should skip next to all the slides, just go to last one, Shika. Yeah, we do what TVK does here, so I don't want to say this. So I want to say that we are actually flipping the switch, and I saw some videos of how the area here has translated from barren land to some of the fertile, and then farmers are now having income, sustainable income actually to some extent, I should say. It is, I come from Ahmedabad, I have seen the same thing in Dahisar doing this in Mara area actually, right? So this is a very good foundation, I guess, right? We have all the platform foundation that we laid out, actually, that Dr. Shah mentioned, we need to talk about next generation and next generation of technology in farming. I think that this is very good platform to be used for that, actually, and then Baramati can become that launch pad, and then rest of the Maharashtra and the Mira can follow suit actually on this one, right? So just last concluding slide there, then these are my take homes. Actually, I make the data available to researchers and farmers at affordable rate, and that data should be of quality. Just I want to say again, AI ML would be there, but focus on monitoring and management. If you don't need to throw AI ML there, some IoT solutions can be developed without some of this. Do that, right? Now Baramati is doing this for sugarcane. If you want to translate this to pomegranate or the grapes, the terminology will be different. So look at this commodity specific technology adoption. Yes, yeah, I mean it's not one thing fits everywhere. I see this here. We are going to Washington State. We have to increase our public-private partnership. ICR, for example, or other institutions here, they cannot work in silos. We have to increase the. We have to bring private companies into the mix. We cannot go parallelly. We have to convert somewhere and then develop the co-generator technology that can be used by the farmers, right? The test beds here is a very good example. We are doing the same thing in Washington State. I think we have to amplify the test beds. I would say what Baramati is doing here, we have the influence. I think there are so many crop sugarcane factories that are there. These days was, as what I saw here, I think every sugar factory in South Maharashtra, they should do this test beds of technology, how this is translating and helping farmers to save water or nutrients and giving the better yield. We have to do that. I think that's how the technology will translate to the farmers. And of course, the education piece, I think we are doing that. So I will just stop here, and again, thank you for having me and listening to me.
Thank you, sir. Now for the next presentation, I invite Dr. Anant Kalyana. This presentation will be on AgAid Institute Securing the Future of Agriculture through AI.
So thank you for the kind introduction. I wish I can speak in Marathi or Hindi. If I do that, even I won't understand what I'm saying. So I'll spare you from that, but it's really my honor to be here. Actually, I met all the great people here. So I'm at Washington State University. I'm a computer scientist, so I'm going to be putting my hat on as an artificial intelligence person with some natural intelligence in me to help convey what agriculture and how agriculture and AI can come together. I have a specific example here, right? So the AgAid Institute is something that we formed at Washington State University. I see a lot of similarities between what is happening here in Baramati. We are trying to bring AI with agricultural operations as well as there is science going on around it, and there is education and workforce development going on. So how do we combine all this in the form of a center or an institute? That's exactly what we were trying to do about 5-6 years back at Washington State University. So next slide. So the brief history is about 2019 or so. Basically we got together. WSU has had a great tradition in precision agriculture for a long time. We have also been very strong in AI machine learning from engineering side. So naturally, the researchers, me, Professor Lavkot and several of his colleagues, we got together and started chatting what are the main important problems where AI can be used. Next. So with that, we started this WSU Digital Agriculture Initiative, and basically it became a very good, in fact, the largest collaboration between the College of Agriculture and the College of Engineering there. Next. So what we did in that process was put together a proposal and competed at the national stage for a federal grant. And NSF and US Department of Agriculture, they started with this program called National AI Research Institutes. Each one would be funded at $20 million for 5 years. So we competed mainly focusing on the core agricultural problems of Washington State, and we were able to secure that. So that is the AgAid Institute. So we are the lead. We have multiple partners. It's not just WSU. We also have partners in Oregon State University, California Merced, University of Virginia, and several other universities, as well as some industry partners. Right. So next. So this is something that as a nation, US has strategically thought about. There are 27 AI institutes, each is $20 million investment in the US. Out of the 27 AI institutes, 5 of them are actually focused on AI for agriculture, and we are one of them, right? And US is very geographically diverse. There's a lot of different kind of agriculture happening in different places. So we focus on specialty crops. I'll briefly talk about what we're doing. Next slide. So we basically look at agriculture from the point of view of mainly adoption. This is something Professor Shah mentions all the time, right? So we want to talk about the demand and the push. We don't want to push technology. We want to see where the demand is. So adoption should be a first design principle when we actually design AI. So that's the first mantra. The second mantra is adapt. Technology is changing. The farmers' requirements are changing. We should be able to readily adapt several of the technologies we develop, right? And the third one is amplify, which is to say we test something in the lab. How do we amplify the impact? That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is machines and humans need to come together to actually produce an output which is larger than the sum of its individual parts, right? So those are the three mantra, basically adopt, adapt and amplify. That's what we follow in the Agate Institute. Next slide. So we mainly focus on water, farm intelligence and labor. These are the three major considerations when it comes to specialty crop at Washington State. There are several similarities that I see in the rural Maharashtra region. Probably the farm intelligence would be the primary one, abiotic stress, biotic stress, all these things. Also water, right? So I see already several ways to collaborate. Next slide. So I'm going to show you very few examples here, right? So in this video, what the robot is doing is, it's looking at a flower and it's trying to do thinning, right? Cutting the flower so that there is not too much load in the tree, in the apple tree. So for this is computer vision algorithm. The robot has to see the flower, there are multiple flowers, it has to also make a decision which flower to remove and which flower to keep. You don't want to destroy the whole flower cluster, right? So some level of intelligence along with computer vision. That would be the example. Once we develop a technology like that, we can repurpose it for other use cases like spraying and things like that. Next. So here what you're seeing is a worker who is basically pruning a branch in the apple tree. This is a very complex decision-making process. Look at the speed at which the human worker is doing and the same speed at which the robot is doing. Right? Robot is probably slow, but there can be more efficiency because it can work at nights. There can be multiple robots deployed pretty much throughout the day when it's needed. Right? There is strengths that the human has in the mind in a complex decision-making. Robots are probably going to help with more of the throughput, the amplification in terms of what they can do over a period of time. Yeah. Next. It's not just about building robots or building fancy tools. Here is one example. This person, she is a worker, she was basically using a pitchfork to thin out blossom flowers, complete jugaad, basically. Right? So we worked with her, and next, so we actually gave this project to an undergraduate team. They came up with the same specification, a pitchfork. They built a simple mechanical device which actually gives her a lot more control. The intellectual property of this is actually with the worker. Now she can actually make money and build a business around it, right? So that is also artificial intelligence, AI in my mind, right? So any kind of help improve the process should be AI. Yeah, next. So we can also build all these kinds of digital tools, 3D rendering of trees. You can not only use to model the trees, but also learn from these, right? Next. So once you build a model of one tree, you can then replicate it in a big farm or a block site, and then do a lot of similar simulations. A farmer should be able to ask, well, if there is drought at this time, or if there is lack of water at this time, what will happen to my farm? So this kind of synthetic test bed is very, very important, and this is something AI can uniquely provide. Next. So here is what you're seeing is basically a robot is mounted on a moving tractor, and it's looking at the tree and estimating its tree width. Right? It's able to do this in a very dynamic way. Right? This is also a very nice use of AI. Next. So Love already talked about frost mitigation, so I'll skip this in the interest of the time. But we also can use AI to actually look at how, what rate the crops are growing. This is a very important information for the farm, because that ultimately tells the farmer when to intervene, at what development stage it is, will this need water at this particular development stage or not, right? So we can use AI for that. Next. Yeah. in terms of water, we are doing a lot of work, but I'm going to simplify it and basically say that we are doing two kinds of prediction and forecasting. One is on the stream for how much water is available in the river streams and how much water is being fed by the snow, because Washington has snow is the main primary source. We should be able to do something similar for precipitation also. Next slide. It's a potato project, another project that we are working on. Here we talked about actually disease management, and for this disease management, we developed a tool, gave the farmer a chatbot so that they can actually come up with questions, pose the questions. In fact, we call this Alu chat because the chatbot for potatoes. Okay, next. So, in the interest of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip a little bit forward. So we have test farms. Professor Shah has visited these demo farms. It's a very good resource for not only research but also for education. Next. We have international collaborations. We work with Chile, with Netherlands, as well as with Australia. We also are starting to work with Japan on several of the projects. We should be working with India, right? So, next. So this is my last slide. I wanted to put how we can work based on what I've seen in the last 1 or 2 days, right? So we have excellent facilities here in ADT, Washington State University. We can provide nice expertise in AI in general, right? As well as how we can use that in precision agriculture. I'm also seeing great resource in ICAR as well as KVK, and I'm yet to visit Vidya Pratishthan. So I do think that in terms of building a center and a coalition, multiple dimensions are needed. One is research, right? Fundamental research, which is the science. Then the practice, which is extension, just like what similar to what KVK probably is doing, and also education, right? Education of the next generation workforce, and the working with industry, where we have to bring technology and all that. So all those dimensions, it should be basically there in a center for excellence when it comes to a problem like agriculture, right? So that's how we use AI in a very responsible way and also in a science-guided way. That's very important. That's where I envision several of these partnerships. I'm looking forward to actually spending some more time here. In fact, at the end of it, maybe we'll develop something called Missile Power AI or something. I don't know. I've been enjoying Missile Power, so I just thought I would say that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Ashwini Devarishan from Technology Innovation Hub at IIT Bombay. Her presentation will be on Agri-IoT products and framework.
नमस्कार. आदरणीय पवार साहेब, सुप्रियाताई सुळे, राजूदादा पवार, माझ्यासाठी खूप मोठी ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी आहे, कारण मी भारतातल्या सगळ्यात मोठ्या ऍग्रिकल्चर सायंटिस्ट समोर आज प्रेझेंटेशन देते आहे, ज्यांनी फक्त ऍग्रीमध्ये रिसर्चच नाही केला तर ऍक्च्युअल इम्पॅक्ट घडवून आणला, आणि अर्थातच ते आपले सर्वांचे आवडते पवार साहेब आहेत. I'm Dr. Ashwin Gajamshi from Technology Innovation Hub IIT Bombay, and we are working on Agri-IoT product and AI framework development for last 2 to 3 years, and I am going to present here some of the video. So, I will present
उत्पन्नातील घट आणि खराब गुणवत्ता ह्यामुळे आपण त्रस्त आहात का? बदलते हवामान आणि त्यानुसार येणाऱ्या कीड आणि आजारातील बदल ह्यांचे नियंत्रण कसे करावे? कीडनाशके खते ह्यांच्या अतिरिक्त वापरामुळे होणारे परिणाम कसे टाळावे असे प्रश्न पडले आहेत. आता काळजीची गरज नाही. भारतीय कृषी संशोधन परिषद, कांदा आणि लसूण संशोधन संचालनालय, राष्ट्रीय द्राक्ष संशोधन केंद्र पुणे आणि टेक्नॉलॉजी इनोव्हेशन हब IIT मुंबई आपल्यासाठी घेऊन येत आहे सेन्सर, ड्रोन आणि कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता ह्यावर आधारित टेक्नॉलॉजी, जी रोग व कीडचे अचूक आणि लवकर निदान करणारच, शिवाय त्यावरील योग्य उपाययोजना, पाणी खतांचा नेमका वापर कसा करायचा सांगणार. या टेक्नॉलॉजीने द्राक्षमध्ये साधारण 15 ते 20% पाणी बचत, कांद्यामध्ये कीटनाशक वापरात 40 ते 50% बचत, उत्पन्नात 20 ते 25% वाढ आणि इनपुट खर्चात 30% घट दर्शवली आहे. सध्या महाराष्ट्रात विविध जिल्ह्यातील शेतकरी या टेक्नॉलॉजीची चाचणी घेत आहे आणि लवकरच सर्व शेतकरी बांधवांसाठी माफक दरात उपलब्ध होणार आहे.
Okay, so I will briefly tell about what is the technology. As you have already seen, the technology has three aspects. It has drone phenotyping through the hyperspectral images. It can be used for large area scanning, wind estimation, disease surveillance. It has IoT-based platform for remote monitoring of weather, soil, leaf sensors, and we have also developed GSM-based as well as LoRaWAN-based methodologies. And I must tell here that all these IoT devices and the AI/ML framework has been designed and developed indigenously at TIH IIT Bombay, and we have deployed such more than 50 systems for more than 2 to 2.5 years now across the Maharashtra. This is the decision support system for the farmers, wherein they can not only see the data from the real field situation, but next they have the ability to upload the image of the crop. And as you can see from here, once they upload the image of the crop, they can get which kind of disease it is, not only the name of disease, but they can also get the specific advisory which chemical to be sprayed in what quantity. So that much specific advisory we are able to do with the help of ICAR DOGR, ICAR NRCG, and we are also working with sugarcane with Vasantdata Sugar Institute, and we could get around 70 to 80 to 90% accuracy for this various data based on local weather climate, based on the image. And I must tell, okay, so एक रिक्वेस्ट आली आहे मराठीत बोलण्यासाठी, तर मी मराठीमध्ये कंटिन्यू करते. तर मला एक सांगायला फार आनंद वाटतो, म्हणजे एक लेव्हल सांगायची आहे टेक्नॉलॉजीची की ह्या डेटासाठी साधारण वेदर प्रेडिक्शन्स इन ग्रेप्स याच्यासाठी आम्ही मागील 12 वर्षाचा डेटा वापरलेला आहे. तसेच इमेज बेस्ड डिसीज डिटेक्शन ओनियन मध्ये मोबाईल इमेज बेस्ड डिसीज डिटेक्शन याच्यासाठी आम्ही साधारण 4 ते 5 हजार इमेजेस वापरलेले आहेत आणि या सर्व इमेजेस 12,000 रुपये किमतीच्या मोबाईल फोनने कॅप्चर केलेले आहेत, जो सर्वसाधारणपणे शेतकऱ्यांकडे असतो. नेक्स्ट, याच्या ट्रायल्स आम्ही वेगळ्या वेगळ्या लावल्या होत्या. ओके, नॉट ओनली दॅट, सोईंग बेट स्पेसिफिक ऍडवायझरी पण आम्ही देतो आहोत. 2 फार्मर्स जर 2 शेतकरी बांधव शेजारी आहेत आणि एकाने मागची स्लाइड, आणि एकाने जर डिसेंबरमध्ये पेरणी केली आणि दुसऱ्याने जर जानेवारीमध्ये पेरणी केली, तर डिसेंबरमध्ये पेस्टसाठी थ्रिप्ससाठी ऍटमॉस्फिअर कंडिशिव्ह असल्याने त्याला 4 स्प्रे एक्स्ट्रा लागतात, वरच जानेवारीतल्या पेरणी केलेल्या शेतकऱ्याला लागत नाही. तर ती सुद्धा स्पेसिफिक ऍडवायझरी थ्रू द सोईंग डेट कॅप्चरिंग आम्ही देत आहोत. आणि हे थोडक्यात ज्या ट्रायल केले आहे बारामती, अहिल्यानगर आणि सिन्नर डिस्ट्रिक्टमध्ये, त्याचे तुम्ही these are the numbers which has been the trials have been actual at the farmers location. Next, and on the map of the Maharashtra, next slide please. On the map of Maharashtra you can see the deployments that we have done across the Maharashtra. So जसं आपण म्हटलं की डेटा गॅदरिंग हे खूप महत्वाचं आहे AI डेव्हलपमेंटसाठी, आणि मल्टी लोकेशन डेटा गॅदर करण्यासाठी आम्ही 50 पेक्षा जास्त सिस्टीम आतापर्यंत डिप्लॉय केलेले आहेत. आता हे सगळं DST फंडिंग मधून चाललेलं आहे आणि आमच्या इथे त्याचा लाईव्ह डेटा दिसतो. तशाच ह्या डेटाचा ऍक्सेस आम्ही अॅग्रोनॉमिस्टला, सायंटिस्टला सुद्धा दिलेला आहे, जे आमच्यासोबत वेगळ्या वेगळ्या इन्स्टिट्यूट्स मधून काम करतात. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. तर थोडक्यात AI इन ऍग्रिकल्चर याचं जर तसं बघितलं तर फ्युचर खूप चांगलं आहे आणि साहेबांनी ऑलरेडी म्हणजे सीड सोईंग केलेलं आहे AI इन ऍग्रिकल्चरचं. पण ही AI इन ऍग्रिकल्चरची जी गोष्ट आहे ती सर्व शेतकरी बांधवांसाठी सुफळ आणि संपूर्ण व्हावी या दृष्टीने आपण सर्वांनी एकत्र येऊन नॉट ओनली ऍग्रिकल्चर इन्स्टिट्यूट, टेक्नॉलॉजी इन्स्टिट्यूट, पण गव्हर्नमेंट कडूनही आम्हाला सपोर्ट लागणार आहे, कारण याच्यामध्ये बरंच काम आहे. आणि आपण सगळे एकत्र आलो तर ही कहाणी नक्कीच संपूर्ण लवकरच येईल आणि आपली सुजलाम सुफलाम जी भूमी आहे भारताची त्याच्याबरोबर जो शेतकरी बांधव आहे ते म्हणतील की आम्हालाही याचे खूप चांगले फळ आणि खूप चांगलं आउटकम मिळालेलं आहे. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, ma'am. For the next presentation, I invite Sapna Mira. Her talk is on agriculture Microsoft interventions.
Good morning, everyone, or rather good afternoon. Thank you, ADT team, for having me here. I am so absolutely privileged to sit with such dignitaries today. मैं कोशिश करूंगी हिंदी प्लस इंग्लिश में बात करने की. Today I stand here to share what Microsoft has done in generative AI in with generative AI in agriculture. Next slide. तो पहले हम ये देखते हैं कि आज तक generative AI से what changes, like everybody is talking, what changes has already occurred, right? Everybody is talking about data. जब Microsoft का फर्स्ट मिशन क्या है कि हर इंसान को, हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को एम्पावर करना टेक्नोलॉजी से. Therefore, when we started working in agriculture, we thought the first thing is data. And data जो agriculture में है, वो बहुत जगह से आता है और डिफरेंट टाइप का होता है. उसको एक जगह पे इकट्ठा करके उससे एक वैल्यूएबल इंसाइट्स निकालना was a very challenging task. और वो हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए very complicated, very cost intensive था. So therefore, हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च किया which will help organizations to store their data. Like Professor Shah was talking, WSU were also talking, everybody is talking that data integration is something that we want to do. We supported that, right? And we provided a platform wherein everybody can collect the data and store it in a model wherein decisions can be taken out of that data. Now, after that, when the generative AI was launched, generative AI के साथ शुरू में हमने क्या किया सबने? We just asked long documents का summarization and then we asked little bit queries like we all are doing. In agriculture was also, this is what was happening. But then we thought, for agriculture, for being specific, we have to add agriculture context on it. So we added agriculture context on that. In addition, then we wanted to provide precise information for particular farm, personalized information. We added data for specific farm on that platform so that your advisories are for your farm. Now what has happened, we have started doing a little bit of automation wherein we have added co-pilots on the platform and these co-pilots can automate small simple tasks like अगर रेन होने वाला है तो एक फार्मर को मैसेज चला जाए कि रेन होने वाला है and he has to take what action. So this simplification, simple automation has been done. But what from here? अब आगे क्या? ये सब we have achieved. Lot of we were hearing 35 startups are there in agriculture, decision advisories. But what next? Because at Microsoft, we are thinking way ahead. Okay, before that, a few use cases I will just share. जुगलबंदी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसने फर्स्टली यूज किया चैटबॉट फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन इन ओन नेटिव लैंग्वेज टू फार्मर. वासार लैब्स ने these all use cases are implemented in India, that is for collecting data and providing advisories. And then ADT environment we are just hearing lot of productivity improvement in sugarcane. Interesting is even now we are putting food value chain also we are making transparent and reducing the wastage. So these all things we have achieved. But what's next? Now is a new era that is coming. What is in this? What is in this era? In this era, AI is continuous learning and then creating an autonomy themselves. Like if for everything I have to do next step, then it is not improving my productivity. So now is the era, a new era, which is called agentic era. What is agentic? In this agentic, हम क्या कर रहे हैं? Agents बना रहे हैं, जो कि हर agent एक specific task कर रहा है. Like weather agent will be only informing about weather conditions on the farm. Pest agent will be only talking about the pest infestation predictions. And interesting thing क्या है कि आज तक क्या हो रहा था कि सॉफ्टवेयर हार्ड कोडेड था. जब भी उसमें चेंजेस करने पड़ रहे थे, तो it was taking time and lot of money also. But agents are intelligent enough to take the feedback and inculcate into the system to drive better insights. So अभी तक क्या हुआ? Till now what we were doing कि repetitive tasks को हम क्या कर रहे थे? Automate कर रहे थे. Just like कि जो डेटा रिट्रीव हुआ उसको फार्मर को भेज देना ऑटोमेटिकली विदाउट ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन. बट व्हाट इफ वी वांट टू डू मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स टास्क? देन we build small these agents. They talk to each other, collaborate like a team, and then complete a complex task. I'll just take an example of just an example. There will be a lot of agents that we can talk about. But if we talk about the virtual agronomist assistant, इसका काम क्या होगा कि agronomist को support करना कि वो अपना टाइम rather than हमेशा फार्मर की कॉल्स लेना या उनको बताना कि फार्म पे क्या करना है, do more innovative tasks. So we build small agents like a weather agent, a pest agent or a call center agent. हमें first level की calls automatically close कर दी जाए farmers से, which are like 60% of the calls are saved, right? And a weather agent will be informing farmer what is happening on the ground. And for example, then we have an ordering agent. For example, they have to order something. Invoices can be created automatically. So all these things come together and make agronomists more productive. अगर हम फार्मर की बात करें, सिमिलरली देयर कैन बी लॉट ऑफ एजेंट्स. मंडी के प्राइस बताना, कौन सी मंडी में बेचना है, ये सब वी कैन ऑल कम टुगेदर एंड हेल्प फार्मर. मे बी बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर, मे बी यू थिंक ऑफ व्हाट एजेंट्स कैन हेल्प यू. And technologies are there which can help you create agent on the fly in natural language. So what are we waiting for? Microsoft is there to help you. We can help you define your AI strategy. We can help you build use cases in AI and accelerate your journey towards AI adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I invite Honorable Supriya Suri, Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, and Trustee Agriculture Developmentist for the address.
आदरणीय पवार साहेब, माननीय राजदादा व्यासपीठावरील सर्व मान्यवर आणि उपस्थित सर्व भगिनींनो, बराच इंग्लिशचा क्लास झालाय, मला थोडंसं मराठी बोलावं. लॉट ऑफ इंग्लिश has been spoken and heard, so I thought I'd break it a little into the local lingo. I thought that was very interesting what you said in your speech, when you compared Washington and Baramati. I'm really flattered about that. इथे बसल्या मी माझ्या फोनवर मला जरा ChatGPTची हाऊस लागली आजकाल. And I think earlier one of the speakers said कि आजकल जब मैं छोटा था तब बड़ी शरारत करता था, वो नहीं मला डाला मला. मैंने कहा जब मैं छोटा था मुझे बहुत रिसर्च करना पड़ता था, आज के बच्चों को चैट जीपीटी से बहुत आसान हो गया। सर विद योर परमिशन आई लाइक टू से चैट जीपीटी में थोड़ा डेंजर भी आता है। परसों स्काई न्यूज को चैट जीपीटी में गलत इंफॉर्मेशन दिया और स्काई न्यूज बोले जा रही थी और वो इंफॉर्मेशन भी गलत था, तो थोड़ा चैट जीपीटी संभाल के। मैं भी थोड़ा चैट जीपीटी यूज करती हूँ। यहाँ बैठे बैठे ये after I met Dr. Anand speaking, I got very motivated. And बैठे I asked question to ChatGPT, what is common between Washington and Baramati? ऐसे मैंने लगा कि कुछ आएगा नहीं शायद। मैंने पूछा कि ChatGPT ला मी विचारलं वॉशिंग्टन म्हणजे अमेरिकेचं जे कॅपिटल आहे ते आणि बारामती काय कॉमन आहे? मला गंमत वाटेल पहिलं उत्तर आले की what is common between Washington, and this is on ChatGPT, you can verify it. It says political significance. आपल्याकडे काय क्रमप्रमाण नाही, पण political literally it says what is common between Washington and Baramati. So political significance is the first point. Washington DC is the capital of the United States and seats all three branches of the US federal government. Baramati, while it is not the capital, it is very politically influential in especially Sharad Pawar and त्याच्यानंतर आम्ही त्या पॉइंट्स असतात. ऍग्रिकल्चर, विद्या प्रतिष्ठान, मालेगाव शुगर फॅक्टरी, many केले. Then commonly research institutes, strong agriculture, education institutes in Washington and Baramati, the planned nice city infrastructure in both. But I was really amused. मला खूप गमत वाटली, मतलब गमत म्हणून टाकलं, मला काही उत्तराची अपेक्षा नव्हती. पण डॉक्टर अनंतनी जे सांगितलंय की बारामती आणि वॉशिंग्टन मध्ये एवढ्या कॉमनॅलिटीज आहेत, ते एकटे म्हणत नाहीये, चॅट जीपीटी पण म्हणतोय, त्याच्यामुळे वी आर सेट फॉर द मोमेंट. बारामती आणि वॉशिंग्टनची बरोबरी होऊ शकते हे ह्या गेल्या अनेक दशकात त्या बारामतीकरांसाठी स्वतःसाठी टाळ्या वाजवायचे तुमचे कष्ट आहेत, त्याच्यामुळे आज महाराष्ट्र एकमत केलं जातं. आणि आज ही सगळीच संस्था एआय आपल्यालाही आधी मला वाटायचं की आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स सगळंच कृत्रिम व्हायला लागलं तर आपला बुद्धिमत्ता कधी चालवायची आपण. आणि त्या कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्तेचा सगळ्यात मोठा आपला प्रॉब्लेम हा मोबाईल आहे. मला गॅरंटी देते कोणीतरी तुमच्या मुलांचे नंबर मला सांगा, मला काय माहिती. फोन बंद झाला तर ना ड्रायव्हर सापडणार, ना नवऱ्याचा नंबर सापडणार, ना पोरांचा सापडणार, ना आय कार्ड सापडणार, ना पैसे वेळेत भरायची वेळ आली तर आपलं गुगल पे करता येणार. फुल लॉस्ट. रस्त्यावर गाडी बंद पडली, कोण आलं गेलं तर चेहऱ्याशिवाय दुसरं काही चालणार नाही. कारण का मोबाईल आपण तंत्रज्ञानावर इतके आता डिपेंडंट झालेलो आहोत, त्याच्यामुळे आपला सगळा ट्रस्ट हा एआयवर आहे. चांगली गोष्ट आहे, पण त्याच्या काही चांगल्या गोष्टी आहेत आणि वाईट गोष्टी आहेत. पण सगळ्यात महत्वाची गोष्ट जी मला असं वाटतं आपल्या आधीच्या पिढीने मांडली, मी आवर्जून याच्यात उल्लेख करीन, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरूंचा देशाचे पहिले प्रधानमंत्री त्यांच्या पहिल्या भाषणात स्वातंत्र्य मिळावं झाल्यानंतर ते म्हणले होते की देश चालत राहील पण जोपर्यंत तंत्रज्ञान तुम्ही सायंटिफिक टेम्पर डज नॉट स्टे इन दिस कंट्री विल नॉट प्रोग्रेस. सो इट इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट की तंत्रज्ञानाचा उपयोग. आज माझे काका आप्पासाहेब काकांचं या संस्थेमध्ये खूप योगदान. ते त्या काळात 30 वर्षापूर्वी म्हणायचे पाण्यावरनं पुढचं युद्ध होईल. आम्हाला तिथे काय पाण्याचा संबंध, पाणी ते एवढे कशाला कमी पडतंय. आता आपल्याला लक्षात येते की तो विचार किती पुढचा होता. आणि एआय ह्याच्यात तंत्रज्ञानाबरोबर आपल्याला सगळ्यांना बदलावं लागतं. आणि त्यांनी जी गोष्ट सांगितली रिसर्च, एक्सटेन्शन, एज्युकेशन अँड इंडस्ट्री, दिस इज एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट बारामती स्टँड्स फॉर. वी हॅव रिसर्च, वी हॅव एक्सटेन्शन, we have education, and we work with industry. I cannot believe that this is a vision of last 6 decades that has created this place into an international model. या सगळ्या गोष्टी ज्या ह्यांच्या सगळ्यांच्या भाषणात आल्या त्या बारामती त्यांची भाषणं चालू असताना मला डोळ्यांनी दिसत होत्या. पण मला त्यांनाही काही प्रश्न विचारायचे. तंत्रज्ञानाबरोबर आपण सगळ्यांना बदल करणार आहोतच आपण, पण मला काही प्रश्न विचारत, कारण का त्यांनी त्यांच्या भाषणामध्ये असं म्हटलं, you said in your speech that unless we have a good information system in place to tell the farmers that you need to know what exactly the seasonal situation, the rain, the sunshine unless that is moderated, this entire exercise will have its own setbacks and drawbacks, which is a huge big challenge. त्यामुळे जर AI ने तुम्हाला किती आपण सगळं तंत्रज्ञान वापरलं पण त्याच्याबरोबर तुम्हाला तो डेटा व्यवस्थित अॅनालाइज करून मिळाला नाही तर या तंत्रज्ञानाचा काही उपयोग आपल्याला होणार नाही. कारण ह्याचा खूप हे वर्कशॉप ह्याच्यासाठीच आहे, AI वर टीका करत नाही, पण ह्याचा विचार आपण केला पाहिजे की जर आधी कसं असायचं, वारी सुरू व्हायच्या आधी पीक पेरायचं आणि वारीतून परत आलं की बरोबर सगळं काम चाललं. आता वारीला जायच्याच आधी एवढा धोधो पाऊस येतोय, सगळीकडे पाणी येतं. त्यामुळे हे बदल त्या काळातले आणि आजच्या पाण्याची परिस्थिती, हवामानात होणारे बदल याचाही याच्या तंत्रज्ञानातून वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन हाऊ ग्लोबल वॉर्मिंग इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट ऑल दिस एज वेल. Because we have this Wari, I'll explain to you later what it is. So it was like clockwork, that when you walk the Wari, there will be no rain. You sow and you leave, by the time you come back the rain is done. Right? We have had so much rain, there's no half the places we can't even sow right now. So हे खूप या तंत्रज्ञानाचा खूप आपल्याला जास्त अभ्यास करावा लागणार आहे. आणि एक गोष्ट मला वाटते याच्यामध्ये की जी मी वॉशिंग्टन युनिव्हर्सिटीला विचारू इच्छिते, मला एकच विचारायचं आहे परत की I am happy to work with Washington University, but I hope Malade sir don't get a visa. That is my very big concern. Because अभी उसको वीजा नहीं मिलेगा तो क्या होगा, फिर Zoom यूज करना पड़ेगा. But on a lighter note, I'm sure you'll consider this since it's research. But I think what AI needs to update is 3-4 major important points which I was thinking while hearing your speech. The lack of global standards. There is no standardization completely in AI. Personalized, and of course it's going to be wonderful as personalized. म्हणजे तुम्हाला एकाला शिकायचं असेल तर शिक्षकात शाळेमध्ये 45 मिनिटं, आता या तंत्रज्ञानामुळे तुम्हाला 24 तास पण काही माहिती मिळत नाही, ही चांगली गोष्ट आहे. पण ती डिपेंडन्सी पण त्याच्यात कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्तेत इतकं पण नादाला जायला लागतो की आपण आपला मेंदूचा अनालिसिस करायला विसरू. ही पण एक त्याची दुसरी बाजू आहे. आणि ओव्हर रिलायन्स ऑन डेटा. हाऊ डू नो ऑल द डेटा हॅज टू बी eventually we are humans and this is farming. It cannot be one size fits all. तुम्ही आपण सगळे एक असलो, सगळ्यांना दोनच किडनी आहे, पण ती ऍक्शन प्रत्येक गोष्टीची वेगळी असते ना प्रत्येक. त्याच्यामुळे नुसता डेटा हा सगळा अॅनालाइज करूनच पुढची क्रांती होऊ शकेल याच्याबद्दल सायंटिस्टनी आणखीन काम करण्यात चालेल. दुसरे मला स्वतःला वाटते की याचा ऍक्सेसला किती महाग, ऍक्सेस टू अ कॉमन. See, these are not large holdings like America, where big farmers have huge land holdings. What happens to the small farmer who has 1 acre of land? So, is this affordable to him? Is something what we need to innovate in. म्हणजे हे सगळं एआयचं तंत्रज्ञान 1 एकर असू दे किंवा 100 एकर असू दे, त्या सगळ्यांना परवडण्यासारखं असलं पाहिजे. त्यामुळे इट्स अ व्हेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स इश्यू. इट्स नॉट समथिंग दॅट याच्यावर खूप चर्चा झाली पाहिजे. आपल्याला मला वाटतं हा वर्कशॉपच नालावडे सरांच्या बाकीदारांच्या प्रयत्नातून या सगळ्या प्रश्न मांडण्यासाठी केलेला आहे. तर अशाच कॉन्फरन्सेस झाल्या पाहिजे, चर्चा झाली पाहिजे, थोडे मतभेद झाले पाहिजेत, कारण का त्याच्यातूनच नवीन क्रांती काहीतरी घडेल. त्यामुळे दोन्ही बाजूनी चर्चा या झाल्या पाहिजे. काही अँटी एआय असतील, काही प्रो एआय असतील, पण तंत्रज्ञानाचा उपयोग करून वॉशिंग्टन आणि बारामती आज काहीतरी करते ही खरंच आपल्या सगळ्यांसाठी अभिमानाची गोष्ट आहे. आज परदेशातून खूप लोक आज इथे आलेले आहेत. मी त्यांचं मनापासून बारामतीत स्वागत करते आहे. वेलकम ईच वन ऑफ यू, अप्रिशिएट इट्स द IITs, द वॉशिंग्टन, माय गॉड, ऑल बिग बॉयज आर हियर, and I'm feeling very flattered that I am speaking on the subject of AI. So I'm quite a brave girl. कारण का एवढं हिंमत करून एवढ्या टेक्निकल लोकांच्या समोर एआय वर बोलण्याला हिंमत लागते, थोडं मी मला हिंमत करून भाषण केलंय. पण मला असं वाटतं की कुठलाही लोकशाहीमध्ये नवीन बदल हे आपण सगळ्यांनी आत्मसन्मान केले पाहिजेत, पण त्याच्याबरोबर त्याच्या ट्रान्सपेरन्सी, पारदर्शकपणा आणि विचारांचं देवाणघेवाण करून क्रांती आणि बदल घडतो. आणि ते करण्यासाठी आज देशातून लोक आले. मी त्यांचं मनापासून स्वागत करते. तुम्ही मोठ्या संख्येने उपस्थित राहिला. कदाचित सुरुवातीचं थोडं इतकं टेक्निकल होतं की थोडंसं काय डोक्यावरनं जात होतं, पण हरकत नाही, कानावर पडलं सगळं काय वाया जात नाही. त्याच्यामुळे some of the things were a little technical, a little hard for everybody to find out. But if you could simplify this, make it in you can use Google language and use it in Marathi and local languages. I think it will really benefit all the farmers. We appreciate all the efforts made by all of you, and this is a small beginning to a very long, committed relationship with IIT, Government of Maharashtra, and all the stakeholders who are here. I thank you very much for being here, and I'm sure together we will make a difference. Thank you.
यानंतर अभय साहेबांना विनंती करते की त्यांनी आपल्याला मार्गदर्शन करावं.
या ठिकाणी उपस्थित असलेले सगळे विश्वस्त सहकारी बंधू आज एका वेगळ्या कामासाठी आपण या ठिकाणी एकत्र आलो. 2 दिवस आंतरराष्ट्रीय कार्यशाळा आपण आयोजित केलेली आहे. दुसऱ्या दिवस बारामतीला विद्यापीठ चालू होणार. या फसवणूक प्रदेशातील शिकावत व्यवस्था फिजिओथेरपी आणि विद्यापीठ या ठिकाणी यावर आधारित सेंटर ऑफ एक्सलन्स त्याची निर्मिती या विषयाच्या संबंधीची चर्चा होणार आहे. माझ्याकडं ज्या काळामध्ये देशाच्या शेती खात्याची जबाबदारी होती त्यावेळेला नॉर्थ ईस्टमध्ये हरित क्रांती, माझ्याकडे ज्या काळामध्ये देशाच्या शेती खात्याची जबाबदारी होती त्यावेळेला नॉर्थ ईस्टमध्ये हरित क्रांती, काही काळामध्ये जैविक क्रांती, दुग्ध क्रांती या गोष्टींना अनुभवल्या. आता नवीन क्रांती शेतीच्या संबंधाचे त्याची काही कृषी उद्योग AI. आता इंडिया तिचं 20 प्रकारचं हवामान, जलवायू, भौगोलिक स्थिती आणि असा परिणाम पिकावर तणाव हा नियंत्रण होतो. आणि त्याचा नियंत्रण ठेवण्यासाठी यावर आधारित फिजिओथेरपी आणि क्रॉस-स्पेस मॅनेजमेंट हे अत्यंत उपयुक्त आहे. यासाठी एक संस्था आपण मानवसेवा वाढवण्यात पाहिजे आणि दुसरी संस्था रांचीला पाहिजे. याच्या मदतीनं तंत्रज्ञानाचा वापर करून प्रत्येक पिकाला विकासाची स्थिती ही कशी चांगली येईल याचा विचार करता येईल. आता भारतीय शेतकऱ्यांचा विचार केला तर त्यांच्यासमोर अनेक आव्हानं आहेत. ती कोणती एक लागवडीच्या योग्य कालावधी आणि योग्य भाषेची निवड करण्यासाठी येणाऱ्या औषधे. 2 नीचल वेळेस कमी होत चाललेली जमिनीची सुपीकता आणि उत्पादन. 3 प्रचंड प्रमाणात होणारा खताचा आणि औषधाचा वापर. 4 ऊस शेतीमध्ये होणारा पाण्याचा अतिरिक्त वापर. 5 3 व रोगांचा वापर वाढत नसलेला आणि त्याचे होणारे परिणाम. 6 मातीची घसरलेली गुणवत्ता. 7 ऊसामधल्या साखरेचा प्रमाण, सुक्रोज पर्सेंटेज हे जे कमी होते हे सुद्धा चिंताजनक आहे. आणि पूर्वीच्या योग्य काळाची संयोजना ज्या काही अडचणी येतात त्याही महत्वाच्या आहेत. आणि दिवसेंच्या काळाला जो येथील मुख्यमंत्र्याच लहान निसर्गावर आणलेली शेती आणि आधुनिक तंत्रज्ञानाचा पुसवला आता स्थानिक शेतकऱ्यांना ग्रामीण 7 ऍग्रिकल्चर या संबंधी ज्ञानाचा असलेला अभाव. आता प्रश्न आहे या सगळ्यांचा वाद करण्याचे एआयच्या तंत्रज्ञानाची भूमिका ही महत्वाची ठरू शकते. जीवन निर्मितीच्या माध्यमातून रोग प्रतिबंध आणि उच्च उत्पादन क्षमता कार्याची विकसित करून हे पोषण उभारून केलेले आहे. आणि त्याचप्रमाणे स्मार्ट सिंचन प्रणाली याच्याद्वारे पाण्याचा योग्य वापर करणं आणि या शास्त्रीय शेतकऱ्यांना शासकीय मदत देणे यासारखे तंत्रज्ञानाचे योगदान हे मोठं करू शकतं. गेल्या काही वर्षामध्ये ऍग्रिकल्चर डेव्हलपमेंट ट्रस्टने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स AI याचा वापर करून ऊस पिकाचं उत्पादन वाढवण्यासाठी प्रयत्न केला. बागायतीच्या केल्यामुळे 5 टीचर या संकल्पनेवर देशातील पहिला या आधारित कृषीचे प्रकल्प हा राबवला. आणि हा प्रकल्प ऑक्सफर्ड युनिव्हर्सिटी वायकल फार्म आणि ऍग्रिकल्चर डेव्हलपमेंट यांच्या सहकार्याच्या मार्फत आपण राबवत आहोत. मला असं वाटतं या प्रकल्पाच्यामुळे अंतर्गत ऊस उत्पादनाचा म्हणजे क्रांतिकारक सुधारणा होऊ शकते. काय बदल दिसत त्याच्यामुळे चौथ्या क्षेत्रावर याचा आधार घेऊन ऊसाची लागवड केली आणि त्याच्यावर योग्य प्रकारची कारवाई केली. त्याच्यातून परिणाम असा दिसतो पूर्वी जिथे एकरी 3540 टन हे उत्पादन होतं याचा वापर केल्याच्या नंतर ते 50 ते 60 पर्यंत पोहोचलेले. इतर आता इथेनॉलचं उत्पादन जैविक खत आणि वापर यामुळे साखर कारखान्याला आणि शेतकऱ्यांना अतिरिक्त उत्पन्नाची संधी प्राप्त नाही. उत्पादन खर्च जो आहे 525 त्याच्यामध्ये 25% घट झाली. पाण्याचा वापर एक नेहमी 17 केली जाते की ऊसासाठी जास्त पाणी हे वापरलं जातं. इथला अनुभव आहे की पाण्याचा वापर 40% कमी झाला आणि खताचा वापर 40% कमी झाला. विशेष म्हणजे त्याचा एकच हात लक्षात घ्या की 30% उत्पादन वाढल्यामुळे इथेनॉलची वाढलं. इथेनॉलच्या उत्पादनामध्ये 910 लिटर एकरी वाढ झाली आणि त्यामुळे साखर कारखान्यांना एकरी 16,900 अधिक नफा हा मिळतो. आणि हे जे काही यश त्याच्यामध्ये केलं त्याची नोंद कोणी घेतली त्याची नोंद घेतली सत्या वेगवेगळ्या आणि शस्त्रास्त्र करून सगळ्या प्रकल्पाचं कौतुक केलं. भारत सरकारने याच्या उत्पादनाला प्रोत्साहन देणारी धोरणं तयार केली. सरकारने तयार केलेल्या ऍग्रिकल्चर या धोरणामध्ये डिजिटल कनेक्टिव्हिटीचा ग्रामीण भागात हा विचार होता. या एज्युकेशन डेव्हलपमध्ये सरकार आणि संशोधनाला प्रोत्साहन दिले. तसंच केंद्र राज्य सरकारवर राज्य स्तरावर या एक्सलेन्स सेंटर स्थापन केलं याचा समावेश आहे. आणि या धर्मामुळे तंत्रज्ञानाचा व्यापक पातळीवर आणि शेतकऱ्यांसाठी तो आणखी एक प्रभाव. माझ्या मते राष्ट्रीय ऊस मिशन, नॅशनल मिशन इन सुगरकेन सारख्या उपक्रमामुळे भारतीय तंत्रज्ञानाचा व्यापक पातळीवर वापर करू शकतो. त्यामुळे ऊस उत्पादनात सुधारणा होऊन शेतकऱ्यांना नवीन तंत्रज्ञानाचा लाभ होईल. आधुनिक तंत्रज्ञानाचा वापर शेती क्षेत्रामध्ये वाढवण्याची आवश्यकता प्रत्येकाने जर घेतली तर त्याचा लाभ सुद्धा होईल. शेतकऱ्याची उत्पादकता वाढवण्यात जाते आणि पिकाचा समावेश संपन्न जाते आणि पर्यावरणाबद्दल त्याच्याशी निगडीत असलेल्या ज्या समस्या आहेत त्यांच्याशी सामना करण्यासाठी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स आणि देशासाहेब तंत्रज्ञान अत्यंत उपयुक्त ठरू शकते. ही गरज लक्षात घेऊन बारामतीमध्ये इतर प्रतिष्ठानच्या इंजिन कॉलेजमध्ये आपण AICTE मान्यतेनुसार 20 AI हा अभ्यासक्रम करून एक महत्वाचं पाऊल टाकलेले. इतर प्रतिष्ठान इंजिन कॉलेजमध्ये आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स, मशीन लर्निंग, नवोपचार तसेच आधुनिक प्रयोगशाळा आणि संशोधन केंद्र यासाठी तांत्रिक संस्था आपण विकसित करत आहोत. आज त्या ठिकाणी माझ्या अंदाजाने आणखी 4 महिने हे आपलं सेंटर खऱ्या अर्थानं उभं राहील. आज जवळपास 80% त्याचं काम पूर्ण झालेलं आहे. आज शिक्षण क्षेत्रामध्ये ऑनलाईन शिक्षण, आरोग्य क्षेत्रात AIचा वापर, वैद्यकीय विज्ञान आणि योगाचं अनुदान यासाठी होऊ शकतो. शिक्षण क्षेत्रामध्ये ऑनलाईन शिक्षण, फायनान्शियल लर्निंग यामुळे विद्यार्थ्यांना अधिक गुणकारी शिक्षण मिळू शकते. यासोबत ऊर्जा, वित्त आणि कृषी क्षेत्रात AI याच्या वापरावर संसाधनांचा कार्यक्षम वापर आणि उत्पादन वाढवण्यास येईल आणि त्यामुळे भारताचे तंत्रज्ञान आर्थिक आणि सामाजिक प्रगती याला एक प्रकारची गती मिळाल्याशिवाय राहणार नाही. आणि असं काम सुरू केलं गेल्या 2-3 वर्षांपासून. लोक पाहतायत उद्यान आणि लोकांनी व्यवस्थित करतोय की प्रत्यक्ष पीक येऊन तुम्ही बघा, त्याचे खर्च बघा आणि हे काम फक्त उसापुरतं सीमित नाही, अन्य पिकं सुद्धा याच्यामध्ये घेत पाहिजे. आज साधारणतः महाराष्ट्र बोर्डिंगने एक चांगला निर्णय घेतलाय. 500 कोटीची तरतूद केली आणि याच्यातून शेतकऱ्यांना प्रोत्साहन देण्याच्या दिशेनं त्यांनी निवडणुकीची 2 दिवसाच्या पूर्वी जाहीर झाली. आमच्याकडं जे कार्यक्रम आम्ही हाताळून घेतो त्या शेतकऱ्यांची साधारणतः संख्या 25,000च्या आसपास. यंदाच्या वर्षी सहभागी होणाऱ्या शेतकऱ्यांची जी विनंती आमच्याकडे येते ती बघितली तर ती 10,000च्या आसपास. गेल्या 10 दिवसाच्या पूर्वी आम्ही लहान असताचे सगळे साखर कारखाने, सगळे खाजगी कारखाने, सरकारी कारखाने, महाराष्ट्र सरकारचं शेती खातं, महाराष्ट्राचे उपमुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार, महाराष्ट्राचे शेती मंत्री पोटाचे आणि महाराष्ट्राचे सरकार मंत्री पाटील आणि अन्य पदाधिकारी यांची बैठक घेतली. आणि त्या बैठकीमध्ये हा विचार बनला की आम्ही हे करू इच्छितो, कारखान्यांना याच्यात सहभागी व्हायचं असेल तर ते सहभागी होऊ शकतात. त्याचप्रमाणे आमच्याकडे जवळपास 9,000 शेतकऱ्यांची नोंद झालेली आणि आणखी शेतकऱ्यांची मागणी हे समजली आहे. हे थोडं खर्चिक काम आहे. पहिल्या वर्षासाठी प्रति हेक्टरचा खर्च हा 25,000 रुपये आणि दुसऱ्या वर्षाचा खर्च हा 10,000 आहे. आणि याचा विचार केला वसंतदादा सोडून इन्स्टिट्यूट याची 9,250 रुपये याची जबाबदारी घेईल. सरकार कारखान्यांनी 6,750 याच्यामध्ये द्यावे आणि शेतकऱ्यांनी 9,000 रुपये याच्यामध्ये द्यावे. 25,000 खर्च हा हेक्टरी आणि त्या हेक्टरीमध्ये शेतकऱ्याची जबाबदारी 9,000 हेक्टरी म्हणजे 2.5 एकराला 9,000 पगार आहे. आणि हा पहिल्या वर्षाचा खर्च आहे. दुसऱ्या वर्षापासून ही प्रचंड खाली खर्चाची येऊ शकते आणि हे प्रकारचं शेतकऱ्यांना परवडणारं हे मला होऊ शकतं. आम्हाला 18 वर्षाचा धक्का बसला की काम आम्ही सुरू केलं आणि विशेषतः वाटोसा आणि आपलं युनिव्हर्सिटीचं याच्यात सहभागी झाला आणि तेही मी काही प्रसिद्धी दिली याचा स्वीकार करण्यासाठी समर्थन करण्यासाठी. त्यानंतर आमच्याकडे जे इन्क्वायरी झालेली आहे ते ब्राझील, फ्रान्स, नेदरलँड, पोलंड, स्पेन, इंग्लंड याच्यावर महाराष्ट्रामध्ये तामिळनाडू, कर्नाटक, उत्तर प्रदेश, पंजाब या राज्यामध्ये या इन्क्वायरी काही केली आहे. याचा अर्थ हाच नाही की शेतकरी याचा लोन घेतलेली शेतकरी आणि हा तंत्रज्ञानाचा उपयोग करून घ्यावा या निष्कर्षाची लागलेली आहे. एकच गोष्ट संस्थापना पाहिजेच होती आणि ती म्हणजे सॉइलची दिवसेने होणारी घसरण. क्लायमेट चेंजच्या समस्या उठून जमिनीच्या सत्यस्थितीवर आधारित कृषी विज्ञान केंद्राचे यावर आधारित आणि आवाज म्हणून उघडले. या ठिकाणी राज्यातील मातीच्या परीक्षेवर आधारित व त्याच्या विश्लेषणानुसार सॉइल हेल्थ डेटा सेंटर व कृषीचे नाविन्यपूर्ण तंत्रज्ञान विकसित करण्याचा मागणी आहे. यासाठी 7.5 कोटीचा खर्च आहे. दिवसेंदिवस मातीची सुरक्षा कमी होते त्यामुळे मातीची सुरक्षा वाढवण्याचा खर्च अतिशय इंटेलिजन्सचा वापर करून निर्माण केलेले AI सॉइल हेल्थ डेटा सेंटर हे देशाचं पहिलं कृषी विज्ञान केंद्र इथे असेल. करून शेतकऱ्यांना या संबंधीची सुविधा उपलब्ध करून देण्याची तर घेतली होईल. एवढंच या ठिकाणी सांगतो. तुमच्या संख्येने आणि औत्सुक्याने या एका वेगळ्या आणि श्रेष्ठ विषयाच्या संबंधित आशाची तुम्ही या ठिकाणी येणार त्याबद्दल तुम्हाला सर्वांचे मी स्वागत करतो आणि आम्ही देऊ शकतो.
Coming to the end of my inaugural function, on behalf of Agriculture Development Trust, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our guests from Washington State University as well as all the national institutes. अभिनव साहेब आणि त्यांचे आभार. तसेच सभागृहामध्ये उपस्थित सर्व शेतकरी, ट्रस्टी, स्टाफ, स्टुडंट्स या सर्वांचेही आभार. याबरोबरच कार्यक्रमाचे सांगताना काय होते, एक दोन सूचना आहेत फक्त की फॉर ऑल द डिग्निटरीज we will meet outside the hall for a photograph. आणि बाकीच्यांनी तोपर्यंत सभागृहामध्ये स्थानापन्न व्हायचं. 5 मिनिट जोपर्यंत सगळे गेस्ट बाहेर पडत नाही तोपर्यंत आपण सगळ्यांनी इथेच थांबायचं आणि बाहेर पडताना आपण सगळ्यांनी स्टेजच्या उजव्या बाजूने बाहेर पडायचं. धन्यवाद.
अपडेट्स सातत्याने तुमच्याकडून जाणून घेणार आहोत. मुंबई पुणे एक्सप्रेस वेवर खंडाळा घाटामध्ये मोठी वाहतूक कोंडी झाल्याचं पाहायला मिळतंय। महत्त्वाची बातमी आपण पाहताय। मुंबई पुणे एक्सप्रेस वेवरची दृश्य आपण पाहताय। वाहनांच्या लांबच लांब रांगा लागलेल्या आहेत। खंडाळा घाटामध्ये मोठी वाहतूक कोंडी झालेली आहे। पडणारा पाऊस, त्याच्यामध्ये दाट धुकं, वाहनांच्या वेगावर सुद्धा परिणाम झालेला आहे। मात्र यासोबतच खंडाळा घाटामध्ये वाहतूक कोंडी। पुण्यामधील जाधववाडी तलाव 94.53% भरलेला आहे। सततच्या पावसामुळे जाधववाडी तलाव हा इशारा पातळी ओलांडण्याची शक्यता आहे। जाधववाडी तलाव परिसरासह इंद्रायणी नदीच्या काठच्या गावांना सतर्कतेचा इशारा देण्यात आलेला आहे। पुण्यामधला जाधववाडी तलाव आपण या ठिकाणी पाहताय। 94.53% भरलेला आहे। या पाण्यामध्ये कुणी उतरू नये असं आवाहन प्रशासनाकडून करण्यात आलेलं आहे। नदीकाठच्या गावांना सतर्कतेचा इशारा सुद्धा देण्यात आला। आंबोली घाट मार्गावरील कुंभेश्वर रस्त्याजवळ झाड कोसळलं। झाड कोसळल्यामुळे 1.5 तास वाहतूक ठप्प होती। अमरावती जिल्ह्यामधील अनेक तालुक्यांमध्ये पावसाची उघडीप। शेतकऱ्यांकडून तुषार सिंचन लावून पेरणी सुरू, तर अनेक ठिकाणी पाऊस नसल्यामुळे पेरलेलं बियाणं उगवलंच नाही। शेतकऱ्यांवर दुबार पेरणीचं संकट येण्याची शक्यता। रत्नागिरीच्या चिपळूणमधील कुंभारली घाट निसर्गाच्या सौंदर्यानं खुलला। कुंभारली घाटामध्ये ढगाळ वातावरणामुळे पर्यटकांना भुरळ। रत्नागिरी चिपळूण कराड महामार्ग 23 जूनपर्यंत बंद। अवजड वाहतुकीसाठी महामार्ग बंद राहणार। चिपळूण कराड महामार्गावरील पुलांच्या दुरुस्तीच्या कामांसाठी महामार्ग बंद। पुण्याकडे जाण्यासाठी भोर आणि आंबा घाट पर्यायी मार्गाने प्रवास करण्याचं प्रशासनाचं आवाहन। रायगड जिल्ह्यामध्ये पावसाच्या इशाऱ्यामुळे आज शाळांना सुट्टी। सर्व खासगी आणि सरकारी शाळा विभागाकडून रायगड जिल्ह्यामध्ये अतिवृष्टीची शक्यता। 3 दिवसांपासून कोसळणाऱ्या पावसाच्या मृगसरींमुळे अमरावतीमध्ये पेरणीला सुरुवात। 2.5 लाख हेक्टरवर सोयाबीन पेरणी होणार। अचलपूल परिसरात कपाशी लागवड सुरू। नांदेडमध्ये पावसानं पाठ फिरवल्यानं पेरणी केलेले शेतकरी अडचणीत, तर थोड्याशा ओलीवर पेरलेल्या बियाणं उगवलं, मात्र पावसाअभावी पिकांनी माना टाकल्या। शेतकऱ्यांवर दुबार पेरणीची वेळ येण्याची शक्यता। कल्याण डोंबिवलीसह आजूबाजूच्या परिसरात पहाटेपासून पावसाची रिपरिप। कल्याण पश्चिमेकडील मोहम्मद अली चौक रोडवर पाणी साचण्यास सुरुवात। अधूनमधून पावसाचा जोरदार सरी। मराठवाड्यामधील 376 गावांची तहान, अद्यापही टँकरवर। 376 गावं, वाड्यांमध्ये 470 टँकरनं पाणी पुरवठा। सर्वाधिक टँकर छत्रपती संभाजीनगर जिल्ह्यामध्ये। मराठवाड्यामध्ये 1142 खासगी विहिरींचं अधिग्रहण। खडकवासला धरणामधील दृश्य आपण पाहताय। खडकवासला धरणातून 1920 क्युसेक वेगानं आता पाण्याचा विसर्ग जो आहे तो सुरू झालाय।
धरणातून आता मुठा नदी पात्रामध्ये विसर्ग सुरू केलेला आहे। खरं तर हा विसर्ग या पावसाळ्यातील पहिलाच विसर्ग असल्यामुळे पाटबंधारे विभागाच्या अधिकाऱ्यांकडून आणि कर्मचाऱ्यांकडून जलपूजन केलं गेलं आणि जलपूजनानंतर आता खडकवासला धरणातून मुठा नदी पात्रात 1920 क्युसेक्स वेगाने विसर्ग सुरू करण्यात आलेला आहे आणि हा विसर्ग जो आहे तो आता पावसावर आधारित असेल असं देखील पाटबंधारे विभागाकडून सांगण्यात येतंय। पावसाचं प्रमाण जर वाढलं, धरण साखळी आणि घाटमाथ्यावर मोठ्या प्रमाणात जर पाऊस झाला तर हा विसर्ग जो आहे तो वाढवण्यात येईल असं देखील पाटबंधारे विभागाकडून सांगण्यात येतंय। आणि आपण आता ही दृश्य पाहतोय की या पावसाळ्यातील ही पहिलीच दृश्य आहेत। खडकवासला धरणातून 1900 क्युसेक्स वेगाने मुठा नदी पात्रात विसर्ग सुरू करण्यात आलेला आहे। खरं तर गेल्या 2 दिवसापासून धरण साखळी परिसरात आणि घाटमाथ्यावर जोरदार पाऊस बरसत आहे। हा जो अतिमुसळधार पाऊस होत आहे त्यामुळे खडकवासला धरण जे आहे ते 80% भरल्याची पाटबंधारे विभागाकडून माहिती सांगण्यात येते आणि खरं तर असाच पाऊस बरसत राहिला तर आणखी धरणाची पाणी पातळी जी आहे ती वाढेल आणि त्यामुळे आता खडकवासला धरणातून मुठा नदी पात्रात विसर्ग सुरू केल्याचे आणि 2 दरवाजे आतापर्यंत उघडल्याचं आपल्याला पाहायला मिळते। खरं तर हळूहळू हे सगळे दरवाजे उघडले जातील असं देखील पाटबंधारे विभागाकडून सांगण्यात येतंय। खरं तर हा विसर्ग सुरू करण्यापूर्वी पाटबंधारे विभागाने पुणे महापालिका असेल किंवा आपत्ती व्यवस्थापन विभाग असेल यांना देखील कळवण्यात आलेलं आहे। खरं तर मागच्या वर्षी जो मुसळधार पाऊस पुणे शहर आणि धरण साखळी आणि जो घाटमाथ्यावर झाला त्यानंतर शहरात पूर परिस्थिती निर्माण झाली होती आणि यावर्षी अशी परिस्थिती निर्माण व्हायला नको, त्यासाठी सर्व विभाग जे आहेत ते कोऑर्डिनेशन काम करत असल्याचं सांगितलं जातं आहे. महापालिकेला अलर्ट करण्यात आलेला आहे आणि त्याचबरोबर नागरिकांना देखील आवाहन केलं जातं आहे की नदीकाठच्या नागरिकांनी सतर्कता राहावं. त्याचबरोबर नदीपात्रामध्ये काही वस्तू, वाहनं किंवा जर जनावरे असतील ती जनावरे नदीपात्रातून बाहेर घ्यावीत, अशा प्रकारचं आव्हान आज सकाळपासून सर्व विभागांकडून नागरिकांना करण्यात येतं आहे. आणि आता आपण पाहतोय की या पावसाळ्यातील खडकवासला धरणातून हा पहिलाच विसर्ग जो आहे तो सुरू करण्यात आलेला आहे. खरं तर